about you other mums or parents out there, but one of my favourite parts of pregnancy was when I used to go for my scans, and I had quite a few. And by the way, if you can hear little laughing noises, just Sienna. I'll show you, she's on her bouncer. Hello. Now she's like, Mommy, what are you doing? But yeah, one of my favourite parts of the whole sort of pregnancy experience was definitely going for the scans, because I was just pretty amazed by what you could see. So Channel Mom have asked us to really talk about our experience of scans and how we found them, how many we had, things like that. So I ended up having quite a few scans in my pregnancies. The first scans I had in both of my pregnancies were private scans at 10 weeks. Are you chatting? The reason for that is because I just was really nervous. I was so happy to be pregnant both times, especially the second time whenever we'd been trying for quite a while. And I was so nervous that something would go wrong or something had gone wrong, and all you're kind of relying on is this piece of plastic that you peed on. And I remember in my first pregnancy going for sorry, she's really having a field day. But I remember in my first pregnancy going to the doctor for my 8-week checkup, and I kind of thought they would do something to totally confirm the pregnancy. Like I thought I'd either do another pregnancy test, or they'd do a blood test, or there'd be something. But literally they did a questionnaire and that was it. And I remember leaving and being kind of upset, thinking, oh, I thought I would have confirmation. I'd so looked forward to the 8-week scan, and then actually I didn't really find out that much. So I just wanted to know everything was okay. Here's the first ever scan pic. Sophia's scan pictures, that's my eldest, are somewhere in our garage. We moved house a few months ago and everything is still kind of in boxes and things. I tried to dig them out but nearly broke my neck because there was so much stuff. So luckily I have them in digital copies. So here it is, the first ever scan pic I had whenever we were pregnant with Sophia. And this was at 10 weeks. And they were able to work out the date and tell us how long it was, and it says along the top there exactly 10 weeks, 0 days. And I was amazed that at 10 weeks, even though obviously it just looks a little bit like a seed, but I still was like, at 10 weeks you can see that there's something there, and it looks like a little baby, and we could see the heartbeat, and it was amazing everything we could see that early on. So that was her 10-week scan, and then here is Sienna's 10-week scan. So with Sienna, we did exactly the same thing. We went to the same place that we had before. It had gone up by a tenner, so it went up to 60 pounds. But we just also wanted to just check that everything was okay. It's quite hard to tell. Even now I'm looking at them now and I'm like, I'm not sure what is what. Where? I think, right, look at this one. I think sort of head, body, and then there's little stumps for like the arms and legs. I think that's what that is. But yeah, so having that scan was amazing because that was the first time we 100% knew and felt everything was okay. We knew there was definitely a baby, that she was still, both times she was sort of healthy, and that, you know, everything seemed to be developing as it should be, and we saw the heartbeat, so that was brilliant. So then 2 weeks after that, then we had the NHS 12-week scan. I was amazed at 12 weeks, only 2 weeks later from when we had the first scan, where they just looked, you couldn't really tell totally where the head and the body was. But 2 weeks later, look, you can totally tell it's a baby. I was amazed. So it just goes to show just how quickly they develop. And so obviously you can see the head and the body and the little arms. So that's Sophia's one at 12 weeks, and here is Sienna's 12-week scan. Again, you can see the head and the body and the little arms. And when we had Sienna's 12-week scan, they changed the date slightly, just by a day. So originally our date for her due date was the 17th of January, and when we had the 12-week scan, they made it the 16th. So yeah, they were able just to tell a little bit more in that scan. One thing I would say friends of mine have said, and I did find to an extent as well, is that you have the scan and then it's like, okay, see you later, but you're sort of left feeling you have a lot of questions about, well, what does that mean? That is one thing that I wish they maybe did a little bit more, is explain certain things in scans. Okay, Sienna has now joined me and we've slightly knocked the camera over, so from a different position, that is why, I apologise. So yeah, on to 20-week scan then, sort of the real big one, and the gender reveal kind of one, if you decide to find out. And we did both times decide to find out, just out of curiosity, I guess. I was totally convinced from my first scan with Sophia that we were having a boy, because I thought from previous scan that that I saw a little nub as such, but I was clearly wrong because we found out we were having a girl, and I must say I was really shocked. Not that I was disappointed to have a girl, because I'm quite a girly girl, so I was happy to have a girl, but I just had been so certain it was a boy. It did take me a while to kind of get my head around the fact that it was like, it's not a boy. But obviously we were happy that everything was good. Oh, someone's just burped. The other thing though we found out at that scan was that I had a low-lying placenta previa. Now, I know that it's really common now, but at the time when you hear something like that, you really start to panic. You don't really understand what it means. You sort of then start Googling, and it's sort of saying things like you may need a cesarean, and you start going, oh my goodness, that's not what I planned. I wanted this natural birth, and I wanted this, and I want that. And it did panic me quite a bit. I don't think that it was explained to me enough exactly how common it was, first of all, and the fact that it is, you know, quite likely, more cases than not, that the placenta will move up as the baby grows, which is exactly what happened. Oh, that was my 20-week scan with Sophia. My 20-week scan with Sienna, here it is. Here is her 20-week scan pictures, which, I mean, look, you can really see her ribs and everything, so I'm amazed by that. And her wee face, you could see all the like details in her face and her wee nose, so we were amazed by that. And with Sophia's, I remember with Sophia's, we were like, Andrew, she's got your nose, because you can kind of see he has like a little sort of ski jump kind of nose, and so we could tell. Most people just kind of have the 12 and the 20-week scan. Because of having placenta previa in the first pregnancy, I then had to have a scan later on. I think it was around 36 weeks. This was the picture, if you can see it. You can't probably tell from that, but that's actually her face, and you can see, I would point it out to you, but I can't right now because I don't have a free hand, but you can, she's sort of lying on her side and she had her hand in front of her, so you maybe can't tell, but we can because we've looked at it a number of times. You can kind of see her nose, her eyes, and her hands just in front of her face, which is crazy. But yeah, the later you have the scans, the less that you can see. And then with Sienna, we also had a scan at 36 weeks because she was measuring small. They just wanted to check that she was growing okay. She ended up being 8'1" when she was born, so both of them were 8'1" and both of them measured small. They weren't small at all. So if anyone's worried that they're measuring small, I would say not to panic too much. But yeah, at 36 weeks, we couldn't really see too much. This was Sienna's scan, and that's her little face. Again, we can tell, we can see she's lying on the side, so if you look at her sort of lying sideways, her head's like that way, and you can see nose, mouth, eyes, which is amazing, but you wouldn't be able to get the full body in a scan picture. And then our final scan was at 39 weeks plus 6 days, the day before my due date, again because she was measuring small, so I wanted another scan. But you can't see anything in that scan really. I don't even know what that is, but by that stage she was so big they couldn't really tell much. All of our scans were the sort of the 2D ones, is that what they're called, rather than any of the 3D ones or the video ones. I understand why people have those and they're great, but to be honest, the baby I think always freaks me out a little bit in them. Looks a wee bit alien-like, so we just decided that we've seen quite a bit in the normal scan pics that we had, so we just thought, you know, we'll wait to see the full baby when she's born. But yeah, those are all my scans, all my scan pics. Sorry it's been a bit frantic and hectic because she's moving lots and chatting lots, aren't you, sweetie? But it's mad to think that this used to be, you know, when I first had this scan, when she just looked like a sort of little mass of cells. She is now this, aren't you, Bubba? It's just amazing. So yeah, I think scans are amazing. But tell me about your experience of scans. Did you have good experiences, bad experiences? Maybe did you find out news that you didn't want to hear? And you know, what type of scans did you have? Did you have any videos done? Did you have the 4D scans, and what did you think of them? I'd love you to share all your experiences below, so just leave any in the comments section. Also, if you want to check out more videos, there'll be more scan videos all on the channel Mum site, so go and check that out too.